What's up, man? It's your boy. Welcome. Let me put this camera up. No mind the squat rack in the back. You know, you gotta get your money any way you can get your money. Boy, peace and love. Welcome to the show. Listen, man, this is quick, calm, and collected. This is the YouTube page, Pivotal Progress. Oh, snap. Hold on. Nah, I forgot to turn off I'm on live on my iPhone, but it was just to check out the camera, other than like right here. But yeah, man, how y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Peace and love. I don't even know what today is, but welcome. Like I said, this series is more so about mindful movement. Welcome to episode number 2 of that. Today we're going to be talking about a particular player named Jaylen Brown. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to the Gaza. The reason I can say my boy in the Gaza is because since the minute Jaylen Brown has been in the NBA, he's never wavered who he is. And I respect that. I appreciate that. On top of being drafted to Boston, which everybody know, it's one of the most racist states, not states, Massachusetts. It's one of the most racist cities, like, I ain't gonna lie. Out of all the NBA teams, that city there, you have to leave Utah. The reason I say this is because I've heard about a bunch of stories where like the fans got a little extra, set aside some little, like, whoa, why are you saying that? And it's because it's trying to hurt your heart. And you can only do something like that if you really don't fuck with somebody. I would never ridicule someone for their race or their color or like their preferences. Like, that's kind of wild. But hey, man, when you in the battle or you in competition, anything goes apparently. Because like if you go to a soccer game, anybody who's at any of those World Cup games, you already know the type of curses you hear. It's pretty sad. But like I said, man, I have a video drawn up today. Like I said, it's the Jaylen Brown 76ers press conference. I think it happened like a week or two ago. It's pretty cool. Let me put this brightness up. It's pretty cool. And yeah, man, let's get this shit rocking and rolling. Rocking and rolling. Where's my free Willie? That's what she used to say all the time. Oh, this lady at my job, she used to be so funny. All right, so let's get it rocking. Excuse me. All right. Entire screen. Yeah, we can do that window. Show video. Share the tab instead. All right, bet. Yeah. All right, we here. Oh, this is the next one. But let's get started.
Jaylen. From The Athletic. My question is, what's this summer been like for you to, just kind of handle mentally, emotionally, in terms of, just dealing with upheaval for the first time in your career? And, what's it like now that you kind of have some finality with your situation and that you can move forward?
Thank you. What's your name again?
First things first, just wanted to give you guys a quick like backstory on this interview. So this has happened maybe the second week of July, once free agency hit. Now teams can officially really sign the players, or if they traded for players, now they can really talk about it and welcome them in. They passed the physicals, they did all that stuff. So this is the next step for these players. I'm saying, if they want to hear from you, you may not be a player they want to hear from, but JB, niggas want to hear from. So let's get it.
Tony. First and foremost, thank you for having me, everybody. Thank you to Francis J. Community is very important to me, so I'm excited to be able to do here my first intro to Philadelphia. Thank you to the organization. And I appreciate everybody that's in the room. I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to the journey. To answer your question, it's been a lot of emotions. You know what I mean? It's been a process. To be honest, I'm still processing to some degree. Just, one, the excitement of coming to a new city, new place, new expectations, new energy, then also leaving somewhere that you've been for a very, very long time. Like I've been in Boston for 10 years. I'm 29 years old. So I was there a third of my life. I met some people, some lifelong friends, some people I'll still be connected to. But, in anything that starting something new, it's an end of something else. So.
Right. And I wanted to just touch on something that he said. He said that he's still processing. All right. So, like I just recently said, the reason I respect Jaylen Brown is because since the minute he came into the league, let me just change it because he look all crazy. The minute he came into the league, he was always be willing to like I said, unwaver. He wasn't, listen, I am who I am. I like to educate myself. I like to hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was always on that type of time. He's like, you know what? I like to learn. And he never let anyone make him feel a way about it or like, not a way, but just like, sometimes people will say negative comments or not necessarily a negative comment, but something that make you second guess what you do. I'm saying those are the people that are there. They don't, they're trying to trick you out your spot, but they don't want you to grow. They want to keep you right next to them. Misery loves company. It could be a plethora of things, but neither here nor there. I respect the fact that, like he said, he's still processing. This nigga was in Boston since the minute he got to the 18, 19-year-old dude. It's like, I'm 29 now. So for those who are younger, 18 to 29, you're going to go through 50,000 changes. You're going to go through 50,000 changes in that time period, let alone once you get past 29. But we're going to talk about from 19 to 29. There's so many things that are going to happen to you in that time. So many things that, not to say that things aren't going to happen, but you're going to experience certain things that you may never have experienced before that's going to give you and help you build character and make maybe, you know what, I don't want to go out late night anymore because you had a time, I don't know, something bad happened to you or you got robbed or you was going home and you by yourself and now you're like, you know what, I don't want to put myself in that situation anymore. So things like that. But so many things happen and you change friends. Not everybody, but sometimes you change circles. You may change jobs. You may move to a different state, similar to how JB doing right now. Like there's so many different factors, But I like the fact that he said he didn't like come out here and was like, yeah, I died. No, I'm actually still processing because when trauma happens, whether it's trauma good, bad, like you have to be willing to give it its respect and process. You know what I'm saying? Process, reflect, whatever words you want to use it and do it.
It's just a process, just like everybody else has to deal with certain things. It's no different, but yeah, it's just been public, so that's the only difference.
Hey, Jaylen, back here in the middle. Hi, Gina Mizell from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Great to see you. You're obviously coming off a career season, and now you're joining a roster with a lot of expectations now going into this year. As you've gotten to know some of your new teammates and sort of gone through that sort of processing thing, just what do you feel like this team most needs from you, both on the court and off the court, especially with the championship experience that you bring?
I'm not sure completely yet. I think we'll figure out as time goes on, as we start to spend time with each other, get on the court, and have conversations, etc. But I'm excited.
Next question. If y'all didn't know, but y'all listening, she asked him about now. She's asking about this now 76 team. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about the whole necessarily the process of getting traded, but now we looking into the future a little bit. Have you looked at this team? Have you looked at this team for real? Can this team win anything? Maybe, maybe not. But let's hear from from bro.
Excited to just be myself. I think that's one thing that I can promise the city and the organization, and the coaching staff, that I'm gonna come in every single day and be myself, put my best foot forward, lead with my integrity, lead with my mentality, and lead with my capacity and my will to win. So we'll figure out the X's and O's and the ins and outs, but winning is the agenda. So that's the first thing that's on my mind.
Hi, Jaylen.
Pause, right? The simple fact of winning. You know why winning is on the top of his mind? Because if you win, you stay relevant. You stay relevant by winning. Feel me? So for a gentleman such as him, he wouldn't have the leverage he had if he didn't go into last season and dominate. You know what I'm saying? And yes, the way the Boston Celtics handled that for sure was messed up, but he worked for that level of respect. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I could always say about Jaylen Brown. Yeah, people be like, yo, he got no left, he still can't lay the ball. Off the court shit. This dude always works hard. You ain't never heard him badmouth anybody. So it's people like that they always want to how is he detrimental to the team? I would love to know. Maybe because he's just outspoken. And sometimes when you're an outspoken person, other people have to kind of answer to that when you're put into that leadership role, So this is interesting to hear, but let's keep it rocking.
Over here. Adam Aronson.
I forgot. I got a couple different sections of this. I wanted to just put it down in a timestamp. Yeah, so let's do that. Next question.
To your left. Adam Himmelsbach with Boston Globe. You mentioned on your live stream that there was kind of communication from the Celtics during the process, but then something changed and you felt like there was kind of a lack of respect shown. What bothered you about how this all transpired?
The whole process. But to be honest, my mind is so focused on what's in front of me. To be honest, I'm moving on. Maybe one day.
Did you hear what he said? Oh, my bad. He already said the entire process. Because the Boston Celtics treated Jaylen Brown like he was a hoe out on the strip. Feel me? Like this hoe ain't just restructure your whole business last season. I don't mean to say it like that, but I'm saying you can't how you trying to pimp a nigga out. You know what I'm saying? Like they trying to really pimp a nigga out. I hold down the team. Y'all ain't giving. Jason Tatum was injured last year, whatever. Nobody, no one, not even the Boston Celtics themselves had them in the second seed going into the playoffs this last coming season. Nobody. Jaylen Brown probably had that intention. You know what I mean? So the way that they treated this dude after, first off, he got them a chip with JT. All right, cool. Let's not even go further back. We'll stay right here. Y'all niggas won 53 games without Jason Tatum. He didn't play a single. No, he played later in the year, but up until about February, March. And then at the end of the season, y'all immediately try to trade me for Giannis. And I didn't get it. People like, yo, that's the belly of the business, bro. It's just business, bro. Whoop. First off, if I could be completely honest with you, you know what people don't think about in business? Compatibility. People don't think about compatibility. What about the people you're compatible with? You've been compatible with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as your 1A, 1B for the last 10 years. It worked. But for some stinking reason, Boston got greedy. They got greedy, and instead of, you could try to do a leverage and shit like that and trade, but you did it publicly. And Think about that for somebody. Let's take it out of basketball perspectives. Think about it like this. All right, so I want you to think about it just like this. Sometimes, let's pick another. Let's say you work at a corner store. Feel me? Next corner store, you doing your thing, you helping. The first day you get there, they don't really have a lot of products to sell. They got like chips, juice, maybe some chocolates. Cool, that's what they selling. You get there, you start helping them. You start helping them to sell other items. They got cigarettes now. They got roll up. They got grabber too. You got the license, tobacco license for them. You know what I'm saying? And then hold on. They go from making 5,000 a month to 500,000 a month. But you've been in, you saying you continue to cultivate that, you cultivate that, you cultivate that, cool. And then one day, you just overhear them talking about they're gonna bring someone else in, like publicly. They're not talking about it like, but amongst themselves, they're talking about it amongst everyone. Meanwhile, you was the person that not only did you build this, but you also got sweat equity in this too. How would you feel? You would feel like, damn, bro, there's no loyalty. I'm not saying you gotta be emotional and cry, nah. But you're gonna be like, damn, where's the loyalty? Ain't none, my friend. And that's why Jaylen Brown was so upset. And that's why he was like, nah, bro, I gotta voice my frustrations. How would you feel if you put on for your company and these niggas, the minute you put on for these niggas, instead of patting you on your back, like, yo, good shit, y'all, they leveraging you to ship you out, bro. I mean, we all have gone through it. But like I said, the human nature of that, anybody's gonna feel away.
He shared the details of kind of how everything transpired and all the moving parts that took place in this. Obviously, it's a lot of speculation. I feel no need to chime in on it because I'm focused on what's in front of me.
And just aside from that aspect of it, how do you look back on your time as a Celtic?
I look back at the city of Boston, and I'm grateful. I've been able to develop as a man, as a human being there. Spend a lot of time in the community, a lot of time at university, studying, learning, figuring out how to approach. How I wanted to go about my philanthropy, figure out I wanted to approach, how to carry myself. A lot of my most important years, my most developmental years as a young man, I spent in Boston. I got there at 19. So I didn't do a 4-year degree because I left early. So I spent time, I got my degree in Boston in a sense. I spent time there. So the relationships are still there. The connection is still there. I'm looking forward to continuing my foundation work and as well as expanding it to Philadelphia. But, I'm very grateful for my experience, my tenure in Boston. 10 years is a perfect cycle, perfect number for, completion. So now we won a championship and I have nothing but respect for the city of Boston, but now it's time to move forward a little bit.
Does that give you signs of like a foul man or like a fucked up individual? Think about it. This nigga was done wrong. And I'm saying that from a business standpoint. The way that the Boston Celtics went about leveraging Jaylen Brown was wrong. And guess what? He's still here, happy to be that. Like, what's the number? Love, what's in the city? Love. Because sometimes organizations, let me just put it like this. Sometimes the organization could be the hating ass nigga. Feel me? And that's real. The hating ass nigga can always be the organization because they think you're bigger than the program. Jaylen Brown never ever said he was bigger than the program. Y'all just don't like an established black man that know where the fuck he come from. And that's cool. Y'all can't publicly say shit like that. But you can publicly trade the nigga after putting on for your whole season. Or whatever. Matter of fact, I got you a coach of the year. But whatever. We're not gonna talk about none of that. We're gonna keep it pushing. Cause like Jaylen Brown said, when they go low, we gonna go high, my nigga.
Jaylen,
Next one. Let me go to the next question real quick. Right here. Chilling, man. Listen, this is a calm breakdown. I'm not here trying to do the gimmicks and tricks. I'm just showing y'all the mentality behind these athletes, bro. My first person was Mike Beasley, of course. Second person, Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen, right here. Back right over here. Paul Hudrick, Liberty Ballers. Welcome to Philly. Just you were a guy who was a high draft pick, but you came into a contending team in a very competitive situation. VJ Edgecombe is dealing with kind of the same thing. I guess, what allowed you to kind of have success in that environment, and what can you maybe pass along to him to help him as he kind of navigates that?
Yeah, I think VJ's in a similar situation than maybe that I was a couple years ago when we had like some of those rosters that were really like stacked with like a decent amount of talent. And I looked at it like a learning opportunity. You know what I mean? Some of those moments that I learned from back then with the players that I played with, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Kemba Walker, et cetera. Some of that stuff I benefited from later in my career because I took the time to learn and talk to and watch their workouts and see their mentality and their approach, take things that they do well and add it to my game, and just keep an open mind. So, you know, I'm gonna be in VJ's all year to just like learn and grow. You know, he's 21, he just turned 21, just, you know, so he's got a bright future. You know, this could be a great opportunity for him to learn from a bunch of guys. And then also his talent level, you know, he's going.
Facts. I appreciate sometimes you go through things in life not knowing that later in life you're going to be in the same situation. It's true. I forgot that Gordon Hayward was definitely on the Boston Celtics. And before Gordon Hayward got there, the reason why everyone thought it was going to be amazing is because Brad Stevens was the coach. Brad Stevens was previously coaching Gordon Hayward in college. They took, if I'm not mistaken, they took the chip. If they didn't take the chip, they got to the finals. I'm saying, well, the Final Four, of course, but trying to think. So when he got to Boston, it was a shit show. Gordon Hayward, shit show. He played way better in Utah. When he got to Boston, it was just weird. He was injured all the time, and like it was nasty. By the time he got back, then he became like a 3-and-D. I don't know what they was doing with the nigga, but I'm glad he got out of there because it's true. Jaylen Brown couldn't run his natural position. They had him running a 4. Nigga 18 running a 4, bro. You crazy? It's chopped cheese. And also, they even had him at the time. They were trying to switch between him and Jason Tatum running the 4 and the 2. So one of them will run the 2, one of them will run the 4. And Gordon Hayward would be in that 3 spot. That shit was nasty. Glad all that figured out. The Kyrie era was Dustin. Kyrie was hell bent on proving that he's that nigga. And I mean that nigga in terms of I'm the top dog in this organization. Some people really care about that. And Kyrie was one at the time. He had to take a back seat to Kyrie at that time because Kyrie was the better player at the time, right? Kemba happened before, but whatever. Kemba was there. They finally started to see, okay, niggas is getting there. And then guess what happens? They get rid of Kemba, and they never kept no solid point guards. If you notice something, when you got a solid point guard on your team, it just allows for fluidity to be possible, bro. But we're going to keep it pushing.
He's going to carve out space for himself just because his talent level alone. So I'm excited for VJ, and I'm a fan. He killed us in that series. There was a lot of the other guys we knew about, but he was a difference maker a lot of times when we played him in those series. So I'm a fan from afar for sure.
Bobby Manning, CLNS Media over here. Jaylen, how would you characterize your relationship with Jason over the last year, Jason Tatum? And is that a partnership you both wanted to continue before the trade?
We won a championship together.
That response right there tells me everything I need to know. These niggas had a work relationship. That's it. That's it, bro. They got a work relationship, and that's okay. How many of your friends at work? Right. Right. You hear what I just said? How many friends are of your friends are at work? They're not. They're not. I mean, you got some people at work you fuck with, but for me, when you clock over, you clock out over your job, you're not hitting these niggas up. You're not you're not. And it's the same thing with these two. Jason Tatum is a father too, husband. Well, aspiring husband. He with LMA. I don't know if they married yet, not. So like, you gotta think about the perspectives. People think it's about, oh, he just don't like him. It's not that. It's perspective, bro. It's perspective. I have a bunch of friends. A bunch of my friends are in relationships. Not only are they in relationships, but they are getting married. So it's like, not only are they getting married, they have children. So it's like, they're gonna start just entering different lanes and levels that it's okay. It doesn't mean that they don't fuck with me, or it doesn't mean that they not my people. It's just we in different sectors of life. And that's what I get from Jason Tatum and Michael Brown. That's what I get from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Who the fuck is Michael Brown? Anyways, having that work relationship. So like on court, of course, amazing. When we gotta do what we gotta do, here, we all have that relationship and that one friend at work that you just click with. And it's that. It's because we both know we gotta get this job done and we want to go home and chill after. You feel me? Some people are really great friends after work. Clock out, yo. Some, like here, is just a work friendship, bro. I mean relationship, not friendship. And that's what I get from literally what he just said. He's like, well, he said, well, you guys still cool? Then he said, well, we won a championship together. That's the professional answer right there. And I'm not knocking that answer. I'm just saying that he's still a pro. He's still gonna protect his peoples, and he's not gonna throw niggas under the bus. That's what a pro do.
So anybody that you win a championship, you would think like that's what, a brotherhood or a lifelong legacy would entail. Obviously, there's ups and downs in any type of relationship for sure. But on my end, it's nothing but respect. Besides when he plays the Sixers, I hope he does well. But other than that, everything for me is just based in respect.
Have you guys been able to talk?
Not really.
Like I said, Jason Tatum is in a whole different lane. They the same age, but they're in two different lanes. Jaylen Brown is not married. Jaylen Brown doesn't have any children yet. So I'm saying that to say that his interests are going to be a lot different than someone who's married or who's with I don't know. I'm saying fiance. I think it is fiance or not. I don't know. But I'm saying my son, Jason Tatum, is with LMA. So he in a whole different field. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean that they don't like each other or respect each other. It's put it to you like this. If you a nigga that like to hang out, right? Let's say you like to go shoot billiards. Then you got a nigga that likes to read, right? Do you think the nigga who shoots billiard is gonna hang out with the nigga who likes to read? No, they just not, because that's loud. That niggas yelling in here. Like, I'm cool. I want to go chill, peace of mind. But for him, that's his peace of mind. So it's the same thing here. Jaylen Brown is a very different person. He's very outspoken. Jason Tatum is not necessarily outspoken. He's more happy-go-lucky, if you ask me. He more of a happy-go-lucky nigga. He just want the vibes. I'm just here for the peace. If it's cool here, we cool. Jaylen Brown the type to just like, nah, nigga, let's disrupt, but not disrupting in a negative standpoint. Disrupting in a standpoint where I'm just giving you food for thought, or making you think about something didn't think about, and you can respect both lanes. I respect both. I always personally thought that Jaylen Brown was the better player. He was not better, the more all-around player. I was always thought that. You know what I'm saying? I thought that Jason Tatum was afforded his play style because of this man right here. Like, nigga, you ain't gotta guard nobody, bro. He's always guarding the top players. So, like, on top of that, and contributing offensively. So, like he was saying, like a lot of people were saying this past season, bro, this nigga's the modern day two-way player, bro. And I just don't see how y'all really, really believe that Jason Tatum is the better player. I don't believe it. I understand why people say it, but I just don't believe it, But neither here nor there. These niggas is no longer friends. These niggas is no longer teammates. I pray to God that they are friends, in real life. But, bro, work relationship is work relationship, my nigga. Like, I see you when I see you, bro. And just let's be honest about that shit. Stop playing like y'all niggas be calling it, yo. You ain't calling. When you clock out of your job, I know you know a few people that you fuck with at work. The minute you clock out, are you calling and checking for them? No. So stop the cat.
Hey, Jaylen, in the middle, a little bit to your right. Jaylen, Kai Carlin, Sixers Wire. I just wanted to really follow up on the VJ question. I guess how much.
Let's get to the last question. We're not gonna stay for forever today. I do want to do a different video a little bit later.
Have a resume that looks great to a recruiter and parses perfectly for the ATS. Most tools make you pick one.
I didn't pay for YouTube Premium.
It's like whatever it takes.
This shit is crazy, but it's cool.
If you want to understand how things work, especially these days, this game is for you. You're not just playing, you're actually learning.
Again, just if you can put yourself in a bird's eye view, because I know you're a player and you're close to this, can you describe, Philadelphia's offseason to you in terms of, just the collective and getting you and, being able to get LeBron, but also, Dean Wade and Anthony Simons, just, everything that,
I never thought I'd see Braun and D Wade play again.
The front office was able to accomplish. And, what were your thoughts on that, just kind of on the collective?
I think they did a great job. I think they did a great job.
That awkward laugh was just his little, for me, that's him. That's him versus his self, you heard? Because in the past, that nigga be voicing frustrations. This ain't Boston no more. So you gotta chill.
Obviously, on paper, we're excellent. I think so. We have a lot of talent, compared to other teams in the league. But I've been around a long time, long enough to know that just what you have on paper don't really mean nothing. Doesn't really, it can if you put the work in, but it also, if you allow distractions, if you let the media get into your locker room, if you allow certain things and the personalities don't work, it can be a detriment. So I'm aware that, it could go either way. It just takes the amount of work and the transparency and the leadership can really guide this thing or not. So for me, I'm just focused on that. How can I, lead with my heart, lead with my work, my mentality. Obviously on paper, we look great, but let's all slow down. It takes real work every single day in order to make something like this happen. So for me, the work has started already. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not a stranger to work. My relationship with work is great. So I'm looking forward to doing whatever it is I need to do, whoever I need to talk to make sure that we get on the same page and that everybody's focused on the same thing. Because we do that, then we'll be where we want to be.
So if you listen closely, Jaylen Brown is telling you what everybody in the streets is talking about. Everybody's like, yo, is this team gonna be a championship team? As soon as Braun got traded there. As soon as Braun signed there, is this gonna be a championship team? This is a championship team before Braun even signed there. with Maxey, Embiid, and Jaylen Brown. This is going to be a championship team. It's going to be a championship team. Personally speaking, before Braun got there, yes. Now that Braun got there, not sure. Not sure. It might be a little too top heavy. You feel me? And unless LeBron is coming there to specifically play make and just be like, you know what I'm saying, like point forward, I don't know. Now, I will say I will say that the 76ers are going to be one of the top defensive teams this next season. Hands down. Hands down. It's going to be hard to score on these niggas, for sure. You're going to have to really get your shooting. Like, now, if you can shoot, if your team is shooter. If your team is full of shooters, you got a chance. But if you're a team that likes to, play methodical, get in the middies, try to get to the rack, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And I say that because their help defense is going to be very solid. I guarantee that starting five will average about 3 to 4 steals. That starting five is itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about with any one of them. Maxey, BJ, Jaylen, Braun, or Embiid. I can see them playing the passing lanes really well. But it's not about the five. It's about how you mesh with the rest of the team. And I'm not really feeling that starting. I'm not feeling that bench. And we're still in August. Like, they still got time to revamp the bench. But D Wade, ain't gonna lie, Dean Wade couldn't guard. If you watched last playoffs, that nigga couldn't guard a shoe fly, bro. So I had to say, they need shooting. Bradley Beal is still out there. Why nobody signing Bradley Beal? What happened? What happened to Bradley Beal? Like, that nigga was the most sought after free agent. And now, nobody's going after the dude. But whatever. I feel like Anthony Simons is the Bradley Beal-esque. Like, he's that scoring off the bench, which is cool. But they need more. They need more. And I need a little bit more wing defense. Like, if Kelly Oubre would have stayed there, that'd have been awesome to, all right, so when one of them goes to the bench, you still got that same level of defense. But I'm excited to see this 76ers team. Not going front. I'm excited to see Maxey do his thing. I believe Maxey 1A, Jaylen Brown 1A, Maxey 1B, and everybody else get in where you fit in. Joel Embiid, if this was 6 years ago, or 5, not even 3 years ago, I would be like, yo, it's his team. It's not your team, bro. You just been here. Like, there's a difference. And we got to stop giving out credit when niggas ain't earned credit. Joel Embiid, when's the last time y'all niggas was relevant? And Ben Simmons was there, bro. So let's be real. You've been a nigga who's here. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But you ain't win shit for niggas. So at some point, you got to look yourself in the mirror, like how D Wade had to look himself in the mirror, like how Steph Curry had to look himself in the mirror. And you know what? Instead of doubling up, I have to make sure we coexist. And that's what leaders do, for me. Hopefully he can do it.
Jaylen, Gary Walsh from Boston Globe. How difficult have the past 6 weeks been? You were obviously open for, the Giannis trade potentially didn't go through. Then you were kind of dangled out there for a while, and people started kind of dissecting your game, dissecting your personality, your impact in the locker room. How did you deal with that, and how difficult was that? And now are you motivated to change what people think of you?
Yeah. How difficult? What's the honest? How do I answer that, Gary? I don't know. I feel like I've dealt with that for a while, internally, externally. You know what I mean? I just choose to not focus on. I choose to focus on what I focus on. Obviously, it got to a threshold this offseason that was a little bit higher than it's been in the past, right? Where I think people attacked my character. Someone even went as far as said I had a disease, So it's been a crazy transition. to be honest. But none of it is completely surprising, even though like some of these things were said externally, internally, and through organization and stuff like that. And there's been conversations that, so to be honest, how surprised was I? I wasn't that surprised. It's just been a crazy process and transition. And then obviously getting traded to the Sixers, like somebody that you competed against for the last 10 years, someone that you've just been a rival. And that was a process too. So it's been a lot of stuff. And then having to move your family and move places. And it has been a lot. But, people deal with it every day. People have to change, relocate. Players, I'm not complaining up here. I mean, I appreciate you asking the question, but it is what it is. So, let's get to it.
It is what it is. Let's get to it. Listen, man. Anybody out there is in the verge of, not even on the verge, you've already made the change. You are like, yo, what's next? You're not looking back. It's important to remember the past, but don't dwell on it. You feel me? Like, too many people stuck there. You still got to go here. You know what I'm saying? The gift is 24 is what I love to tell people. And I mean that. And watching this interview, well, press conference, not really interview, watching this press conference, that's what I get from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to always be willing to keep your best foot forward. You start to realize in other situations, like I said in the past, how much stock you put into certain things. And I like listening to this because it's telling you and it's showing you that this gentleman, listen, bro, whatever happened in Boston happened in Boston. Shit cool, shit was sweet. I was a champ there. But now I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? And now we about to bring Philly a chip. It's been, 40 something? I don't know, but they ain't win the chip since 83. You know what I'm saying? So now I got a new mission. And I'm with Braun, I'm with Jaylen B, BJ Edgecombs, Tyrese Maxey. We got the squad. We got the Philly squad, Toon squad. Feel me? So I'm excited to see this next season. This next season about to be crazy. The East is going bloody. Listen, bro, we got way more to go. We got way more shit to talk about. Like I said, I'm just doing individual plays right now, and I'm breaking down the mindful mindset. I said the mindful mindset, the mindful movement. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, I had some water. Thirsty as heck today, but it's all good. And like I say, y'all, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm making many more videos like this one. I could stop sharing. We chopping it. Making many more videos like this one, and I know the lighting was a little bit shaky today, but it's cool. I'm tired of being stuck in my brain like, yo, this ain't right, or like, you see all this shit? Wait, you see all this shit right here? I didn't, for a long period of time, I didn't want to record because everything is always in the way, or, oh, you see my squat rack, or, you know what I'm saying? You see the clothes on the floor. Don't worry about that. It's not on the floor. It's actually on a bench. That's why it looks like that right there. It's folded too. But anyway, it's folded. But like I said, just don't allow people to dictate how you want to go. I allow myself to negate how I want to be because I don't have the proper setting, or I don't have the proper studio, or you know what? All that shit gonna come in due time. But if you have all that shit and you don't know what you want to do, what's the purpose of having all that shit? I know what I want. And when I get there, I'm gonna just look into the camera and say, yo, thank you to the people that rock with me from the beginning. When y'all saw me at Hurricane Fitness, when y'all saw me at Walk With Me to Pod, do my thing, when you see me here, you notice one thing. I don't quit, I don't give up. I stand 10 toes and I do what I gotta do for the people I love and I care about. Peace, love, and don't you ever forget why I do this shit.